Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. Today we're behind a load of boxes because this is a typical day. Sportsmen have sent me 4 air rifles, so slowly I am going to unbox these and actually have a look what's in them. This is a physical act of unboxing because it's purely something that's got to be done. So I'm going to decant these very carefully down there, and I'm going to start with this one. Now, judging by the overall size and shape of this box, I suspect this is an FX. There are 3 FXs in this delivery, but they're not all the super duper most expensive ones, because I've specifically asked for some slightly more economically priced air guns. So I've got 3 FXs, one of which I think is quite expensive, an ATA, and I've got a bit of a mixture of FAC and sub 12s. So over the course of the next few weeks, I will no doubt be getting all of these reviewed. And that's the wrong way up, that one. Let's pop that there. So this one looks, I'm going to suspect this is probably one of the high-end FXs. So just open that, check there's no paperwork blatantly on display. Now, having to remember 4 names at once is tricky. So I have written a list, but this is the FX Dynamic. Now I've got a funny feeling that this is a sub 12 and it's a 177, this one, but we'll check all that out in the details of time. It doesn't clearly say on it anywhere. Is it a 177? No, but anyway, this is what we can see here. So we've obviously got threaded muzzle. We can put a moderator on that if we want. The barrel does have the sort of extended shroud opening on it. We've got a handguard here, Arca rail on the underside, filling adapter there. It's a 250 bar fill, so it'll be interesting to see how many shots we get off that in 177. 20 MOA inclined Picatinny rail. We've got a power dial on the left side there. That obviously is the cocking handle there, and then we've got the bottle sort of within the cheek piece here. This looks like it clamps onto the bottle, so that's actually a strain junction there. There's an adjustable recoil pad, which we'll investigate more in the overall review. The magazine, I suspect, now I don't know how many this is going to hold. I think it was a, last time I had one of these it was a 2.2. I think it was 16 rounds, was it? But this looks like it's going to take more than that. I don't know, 20 some perhaps. I'm sure we'll find out when we do the full job. We get a Foster connector with it as well. And here we go. So that's got an AR-15 grip on it. It's like a rubberized thing. It's very grippy, very, very portable. That obviously gives us a really good place to handhold onto, and we can also put a bipod on that as well if we want to. So that, I think, is going to be the primary review. Now, off the top of my head, that is, I say at the top of my head, does it say dynamic on it? I think we said dynamic on it. Yes, that is £1,269.99. So I do not sell these, but you know they are available from your whoever's locally. So this one is going to, well, I think I'll be shooting that one straight away because I do quite like the look of that. Let's just pop this back in the box. There might be a few cuts in this video because we have to physically maneuver around all these boxes and packaging. I've done so much with the FAC FX air rifles and not done a huge amount with the sub 12, so it'll be good to have a look at some of the sub 12s. And as we say, it's all very well that they're very expensive, but we need to look at some of the more economically priced ones as well. So I just slice this box open here, just slightly off the end of camera, but it's a shame I'm doing it off camera because it will be telling me just, or telling you guys, just how well I've managed to sharpen that knife. Put this back on here. So you might see this a little bit on the ceiling cap. We've got one FX, 2 FXs, and this is an ATA. Right, let's have a moment, let's put the FXs to one side and let's have a look at the ATA first, because it kind of quite interests me, that. And that was sort of careful-ish. Right, this is ATA Airborne. Now, if I wrote this down correctly, this rifle, let me just grab my prices here. This rifle is £399.99p. So this is a regulated pre-charged pneumatic air rifle. That sounds a lot of rifle for that much money. So let's have a little look at it. Number one, we've got a magazine in there. Pop that open. Does this just twist open? Yep, twist that open. Or we can, oh, that's probably a twist to fill, isn't it? See, I've done no research on these because I didn't know what was coming until it arrived today. We'll pop those and we'll sort that all out in the full review. This is the joy of first impressions. That looks like a sound moderator in there. So let's just pop this out of its bag. There's also a Foster connector in the bottom there and an Allen key. There we go, we've got a sound moderator, got some paperwork, pop that down, lift this out and see what's what with this. We have got boxes galore here, haven't we? Let's pop that one out there. One of the great things about unboxing on camera is it gives you an idea of how to actually rebox things when you come back to it. So this is the ATA Airborne. That's nice walnut stock, recoil pad at the back, triggers here. We've got some adjustment in there perhaps somewhere. Is that the safety catch actually on the trigger blade there by the looks of it? Side lever to cock it, the magazine we put back in the box, Picatinny rail on top. It doesn't say it's inclined, the FX said it was 20 MOA by the way. And then we've got the air bottle on the front, moderator will screw on there when we get into use with that. That's kind of nice, that. It's got the little ATA logo engraved into the walnut. Filling adapters on the bottom. This looked like it was a Foster, so that means I don't have to swap backwards and forwards between the guns too much. This one twists on and off actually, which is kind of handy because the FX ones are magnetic, I think, and although I haven't lost one, I do always think if I could lose it, I probably would have done by now. Fill pressure on this, dry air only, max is 220 bar, read the owner's manual before use. Capacity 545 cc. So, is there anything else it tells us on the label here? Quality control ticket, that's passed. Am I not seeing where it says what caliber this one is? Right, so 220 bar fill on this rifle. We've got a manometer on the side there. I'm going to cautiously from an angle. That looks like a 177. So this one will get set up. Makes life easy. It's got Picatinny rail on top, and we'll get shooting with that. Now there is, no doubt everybody will go, oh, you've broken it because it went ding, and it went ding again. Looks like we can fit a stud or something in there as well. So that is that. But that is going to make somebody very, very happy for £400, I think. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment and all that jazz, because we'll get to the full review at some point. Let me just go and put this down. Yes, we're actually running out of space to even put things down, which is always good. The empty boxes. Right, let's have a look at that one. That's a full box now. Now the clues are all there. I suspect this is going to be an FX. Which FX is this one? I suspect this is going to be the FX T12 synthetic. I could have probably looked on into the box, it might have told me. That's looking, yes, that's a T12 synthetic. That is a very light rifle. Now this is FAC specification. I'm just going to have a cautious look there. That looks like a 2.2. We've got FX fill probe, and we've got the magazine here as well. So that has got regular sort of old school dovetail rails and that. Recoil pad on the back. Looks like we've got some kind of vertical adjustment. We've got a slight Monte Carlo cheek piece here, and that is just back, forth, like a regular bolt action. It's very slim, is this. It's very lightweight. It's so reminiscent of what I would sort of say was a classic air rifle, rather than the newfangled, I say newfangled, but the buddy bottle arrangements with the, you know, the very tall procedure. This is far more, you know, linear, and I quite like the way that handles. I mean, some people are always going to want the latest and greatest air rifle. They're going to want all the additional regulators, all the additional pressure adjustments, so they can tune them, because the rifle is itself the hobby they want. Interestingly, a lot of people still want an air rifle just to use as a simple tool to do a job, and they don't really want to be distracted with questions about, oh, have I got it tuned correctly, have I this, have I that, have I the other. They just want to shoot it at whatever power level it's at. This is an FAC, I'll be testing that. They just want to shoot them, know how they shoot, learn the trajectory, and just get on with it. They don't want to be continually, you know, reinvestigating what they've done and retuning and new barrels and different pellets, different slugs. That's fine for some people, but that's, to me, that's the gun itself is the hobby, and the shooting is the hobby. Whereas this might be more appropriate as a pest control item. This one has already kind of appealed to me because I quite like simple sometimes, and we'll see about that. I suspect that'll be I don't know how many rounds will go in that magazine. It's a fairly compact mag, which again I quite like, because you can walk around with these big mags, and although they've got loads in them, they're a little bit too full for my liking. We need to figure out how to load these things. I don't want to damage them yet. I haven't seen that one before, so we'll learn about that one. The metal trigger guard on the back there. Well, looks like we might have some adjustability on the trigger there, but we shall see. It's screw cut at the front, so we can put a moderator on that. That looks like a good Commonweal Garden 1/2" UNF thread, for which I have many sound moderators. So let's just pop that back in the bag, in the box for the moment. And unbox the last one. I don't like unboxing, really, as a word. I prefer to think of it as first impressions, because, you know, it's a bit like Christmas, isn't it? You just get to open them all up, see what's in them, and look at what you're going to have to figure out for when you do the full review. But first impressions can be very lasting. They can be very memorable. And this one is FX. This one's the Dreamline Classic laminate, black laminate. So again, FX magazine, FX filling adapter, FX instruction manual. Let's risk it and leave that there and see if it falls on the floor. So, screw cut at the front, we can put a moderator on that. There's a manometer on the front of the bottle there. We've got tuning gauges on the side here, low, medium and high. Now, I don't know what caliber this one is. Have I missed what caliber this one is? This is another 1770. This is an FAC as well. So again, we've got the slightly simpler approach on this. We've just got 3 power settings, none of the tuning issues to do with it, and we've got the side cocking lever there, simple safety catch. Again, this is my kind of air rifle in a way, because that, you know, it's very similar to the T12, just so much more modern, and it's slightly heavier, of course, as well, with the laminate stock on it. It's a much more beautiful rifle to look at, but similar overall design. Again, we've got the old-fashioned narrow dovetail rails rather than a Picatinny. Everything's small, everything's light, everything's simple. The trigger looks to have some adjustability on it as well. We can adjust that for position. And the fill probe goes through at the front here. There doesn't appear to be any kind of sling stud or anything like that, but we can shoot this off bags. And again, this is more of a hunting rifle in my opinion. Of course, especially as an FAC, this is going to make an awesome ratting tool, because I personally do shoot ambidextrous. So I'm possibly thinking I'm going to put one of the one of the Pard DS. I might put the Pard DS50 on that one specifically because I think that's going to be a really nice setup. So it's got great checkering on it. The finish on the stock is it's glossily smooth, but it's not glossily reflective, if that makes sense. I like that. I really do like that. Now I think we said, was this a two? This is a 177 FAC, so that's going to be a new thing for me. I don't normally go near 177 FAC because I think if you're restricted with FAC, the restriction is the actual projectile speed. So you're talking 950 to 1,000 feet per second is usually about the sweet spot. So depending on the weight and caliber, or the caliber and weight of your projectile, that's going to pretty much dictate your maximum energy. It's not like you want to start throwing them way beyond subsonic speeds because you just get all sorts of other problems. And I think that is where the 2.2 comes into its own with FAC, because you can really venture into that middle ground between the 12 foot-pound air rifle and the sort of 95, 100 foot-pound rimfire. You know, you're really in the sweet spot of sort of the high 30s, 40 foot-pounds with an 18 grain 2.2 pellet. And I do really like that as a zone to be in with FAC. But this is going to be interesting, and of course with a 177 it'll give a slightly different trajectory and ballistics, so it'll all be a bit of fun and things to look at. And of course I'll be interested to see what the high, low and medium power settings do in terms of absolute muzzle energy. So I've got the latest FX chronograph. I can run these things to death, measuring everything through that without having to do all the paperwork manually for them. So there we go, we shall see. Right, well, if you want to see the full reviews on these, please like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell and comment, especially because your comments are what drive these videos. Please go through to the end of the video, check out the sponsors. We've got the British Shooting Show. Thanks for watching, bye for now. I better go shooting now, didn't I?